Hey guys, welcome back to another video by Carlos Aquarium. Today I'm going to be doing water changes on both my 20-gallon long fish tanks. So we'll go through that process, everything I use, how I do it, and the way I think is easiest for me. But if you guys have any other suggestions or anything like that, definitely let me know. Okay, let's get right into it. Do want to go over some of the equipment I do use while doing a water change. Obviously, water test kit. I always test before and after to check my parameters, make sure everything's good, I'm not missing anything or anything like that. I also use a little mini net to help get any small debris or dead plants out of there. Scraper for the glass, it's just a metal blade. Scrubber, brush scrubber. Got a, I guess I don't even know what to call this, but it helps me just move the substrate around where I need to. Got my siphon right here with the hose and everything, attachments, and then that's for when I'm done. I'll add a little bit of that in there for the plants. That's to dechlorinate the new water that I'm putting in. And then I always add a little bit of stress guard in the end, just to, it is kind of stressful for the fish doing a water change. So those are the items I use. And table helps everything, makes me keep me organized. A towel to clean up, and then a couple of buckets, so 3 to be exact. So those are what I use during my water changes. So I also forgot to mention, one of the first things I do when doing a water change is I turn everything off. So my filter's off, sponge filter is off, heater is off. Most importantly, when I take the water out, obviously the water level is going to go lower, and then the sponge or the hanging on the back filter is just going to be running with no water, which is you don't want. Heater obviously needs to be fully submerged when that is in use as well, so you want to turn that off, and usually wait about 5 to 10 minutes before you actually start taking water out, just so that heater can actually be fully off and everything like that. And yeah, so I do turn everything off a few minutes before I start taking water out. So during that time, I just turned it off. I'm going to clean the glass. I'm going to grab some of the the driftwood out of there to scrub it up a little bit. I don't scrub everything. Just if I start seeing quite a bit of algae on something, I'll scrub that. I don't want to take all the, I know there's beneficial bacteria on the substrate, plants, everything else that's in there, rocks and stuff like that, but I still want to leave as much of that in there as possible. So I will get started on that. So one thing I do like to notice is while the driftwood is in the water, you can see all the algae and everything. It's like, oh, that's going to be easy to clean up. As soon as you take it out, I know the lighting in here is not the best, you can't see anything. So definitely makes it tougher, but you just got to do best. Try to scrub where you can, where you think you saw it, everything like that. But yeah, so I'm going to start cleaning that stuff off. I'll clean that. Now the rock is actually pretty good. Sometimes that gets a decent amount of algae, but that's fine. And I'll clean that piece right there. Like I said, you can kind of see some right there, but not bad, not bad. And I'll just make sure none of my shrimp or snails are on it before I just start going crazy scrubbing this thing. And yeah, nope, looks pretty good. So I will get that going. Do want to show something pretty cool. You can see where my shrimp like to hide. And look at now, all these guys think they're getting fed and stuff too. But yeah, so just try to gently get them off of there. Don't want to spook them too much. They're already seeing everything going on and don't want to stress them out. But yeah, close up to a few of the shrimp. I know it's going to be hard to see, but I'll do my best. A lot of times what I like to do too is get in here and kind of just feel my leaves, see how they're doing, try to get some of the algae off of them too. And then pick out the ones that are dying, like that one. So grab those. You can see where one of the shrimp went hiding. So yeah, so I'll do that with some of my plants that I feel like need it. This banana plant though, that's looking amazing. Super happy with it. Got a new leaf growing right here. I'm not gonna chop this down yet. I'm gonna keep this. I know it's getting pretty long, but I'll kind of just go in there, kind of See if there's anything loose, anything that needs to come out of there. Looks good. And then I know camera's not doing so well. I need to get me something to help that out. And yeah, and then you can see there's some stuff that I'll pick up with the net and all that in the substrate. I usually I don't vacuum my substrate a whole lot. These guys over here, they do really good on helping me. So they do really, really well. I don't have a whole lot of leftover food and stuff. But yeah, so I want to take out the water here shortly and go from there. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes since I added the drops to the water to test the parameters. So you always want to wait about 5 minutes just to make sure everything's nice and accurate and the colors have developed. Starting with ammonia. See if we can tell. Hard to see, I know, in here. But pretty much zero parts per million on ammonia. So everything looking good there. Which I had a feeling, I haven't had any ammonia spikes or anything like that since I started this. And then nitrite. Again, it's basically zero right there, so that's amazing. Now nitrates, you're always going to have some, a little bit. I'd say I'm about 20 parts per million, not quite 40, but closer to 20. So definitely gonna do a small water change just to keep that down. You obviously, the lower the better, but 20 parts per million is not bad at all. So we're gonna do a small water change, and that is on the Guppy tank. So that's on this one. So I tested this tank. Obviously has a lot more plants that help keep the nitrates down and things like that. That one might be a little bit higher just because I only have a sponge filter and a couple of plants in there. This one has a sponge filter and hang on the back filter and lots of plants. Also has a lot more fish, but so yeah, we'll get a small water change done on this one. Mostly just trying to clean up the substrate a little bit, clean the glass a little bit, and try to get some of that algae off of that driftwood right there. But not bad, not bad. It's actually pretty good numbers. I like those parameters. pH, we got a little bit of high pH, but that's okay. My pH stays pretty stable, so I don't have any fluctuations. That's the biggest thing I believe in pH, is to keep it stable. The number itself isn't as important. Unless you're like crazy numbers, but you just want to keep it stable. Fish like stable, shrimp love stability. So okay, so here I am getting the water out into one of my 5-gallon buckets. So I'm only going to do about 20% water change. So since it's 20 gallons, it'll be 5 gallons. So, or actually 25%, I guess. I gotta do my math right. I went to school, I promise. So yeah, so gonna do that. Get some of this water out of here. I've already kind of moved some things around if you didn't see. Just trying to make this a little bit better, and I thought about putting one of the driftwood in the other tank when I start doing that one. And yeah, so I will get some of this water out and skip straight to the next part. So I actually didn't end up doing the full 5 gallons. It took about, let's see the water level, it took about that much out. Like I said, on the testing, I didn't need to do a huge water change. Mostly did to clean the glass, kind of clean some of the plants up and stuff like that, and get some of that out of there. So not really a full-on water change, nothing crazy, not a big one today, but that's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm hoping soon with enough plants and stuff in here, I won't have to do water changes as often. I do them about once a week, which might even be too much now, but just trying to find a balance through everything. Now I do use Prime from Seachem to dechlorinate my tap water, and I do also use a thermometer to make sure I'm getting a decent temperature out of my faucet, so that the water temperature does not a drastic change and causes a bunch of issues and all that. So I do keep it within a degree or two of what I already keep in the tank itself with the water heater. So definitely recommend doing that. Putting a few drops of Prime in there, and just wait a couple minutes for the Prime to do its thing. You don't want to just put Prime and then dump the water straight in. Just give it a few minutes. Doesn't take long, but definitely helps out. So I'm gonna get that going right now. I also want to show you guys what's inside my filter as well, my hang on the back filter. So got some biomedia here that I keep, and when I do rinse it off, I do use the old water that I pulled out from the tank. I don't use just straight tap water or anything like that. You want to keep that beneficial bacteria on there and don't ruin it with any ammonia or anything like that. So definitely use the water that you take out from the tank to rinse it off. Just a light little rinse just to, make sure there's enough, flow through there and everything. So that's on there. Also got the mechanical filtration, so the sponge basically. Just kind of rinse that thoroughly in the same water. And then another thing that I do add that I'll put on top, some of this filter floss basically, just to help get some of the fine particles. Helps my water stay a little bit clearer. Yeah, so that's the only thing that I add differently. I don't use any carbon or anything like that. You have a sponge filter in there as well, so just a little more filtration. So that just want to show you what was inside of my HOB, and it is a Title 35, Seacom Title 35. It does have a skimmer on it, which technically isn't great for my baby shrimp. It's probably sucking up the no baby shrimp, but I'm hoping some of them survive, but we'll see. Now on the next round, I might have to try to do something with that. There's another YouTuber that I actually watch, Tank Life HQ. He's been helping me a lot, giving me a lot of ideas to optimize this. There's something from Co-op that you can buy to try to put a sponge on this on the intake so it doesn't get sucked up. Maybe putting some tubing to cover up the skimmer, things like that. So there's ways that I can probably get past that. Just trying to see, take it step by step and go from there. Okay guys, so finished this one up, so I'm gonna move on to the next tank. But just to give you overall of how everything went, I think it went well. Got the water level where I wanted it to, got the filter back on, heater back on, sponge filter back in there. So yeah, everything looks good, looks great. It's a little cloudy right now. It will clear up. Give it about half hour to an hour. I just moved some stuff around. These guys are now wondering, what happened? So they're moving around a little bit. These guys, they think I'm gonna feed them, like always. So they're over here where I'm at. But they'll get fed, and I'll do a video on my feeding process as well. Yeah, so I'll come back to this tank once I'm done with that tank, just to show you the clarity and everything after doing that. And we will test the water parameters in that as well. So show you where everything's at afterwards. So I'm gonna start on this tank, side by side, and try to take, be the star of the show, I guess. But I wanna do a before and after on this one. See all that algae on that glass. Kind of left it on there all week on purpose, just to show, what a water change can be in an extreme, type environment of all that algae. So I'm gonna get that all cleaned up. I'm gonna clean the substrate a little bit on this one. And yeah, so I'm gonna get this going, and I'll be right back when that is all done. So I took some of the water out on this one. Not as big of a water change in this one. My parameters were actually really, really good. Mostly doing a water change to just add some more minerals and stuff that, been depleted. But no, parameters are really, really good. So I didn't get the video on that. Kind of just skipped that since I showed you guys on the first tank. But did add a driftwood that was in there into here. Just trying to add a little bit more stuff. I am going to add some Amazon sword, and I am going to get some more red plants that I have in there. Just like those ones into this one. Just taking me some time, haven't been. I went to the fish store the other day. Haven't been to another person I go to. Haven't been to them yet, but the fish store I went to, they didn't have any at the moment. So just trying to see when I can get some and get some more plants up in here. I'm thinking of adding some other fish, but I don't know. I know it's in the last video, I probably won't, but we'll see. We'll see. I change my mind every day, so. But yeah, so I'll get that water added into this one, but as you can already tell, algae off the glass, looking good, looking great. So we will get the water in there and I'll be right back. I also use about a quarter of a capful of Stress Guard after I do a water change. So I'm gonna add that to this tank now. Just kind of helps with the fish, you know, keep the stress down. Also good for their slime coat, and it's a good antiseptic. So definitely like to use that after doing a water change, just to keep everyone happy, keep everyone good. And then I will also turn the light off. Technically I've had the light off for most of the time, but except for when I'm recording. But I turn the light off just to keep the stress down too. That definitely helps. Light definitely stresses out fish, you know, during major changes like that. So working on this one still. I am putting water in that one now. All right, guys, so this is in the guppy tank. I know the light's off right now, but these are the new test results after doing the water change. I did the high range pH test because I noticed on the other one that it was at the highest level, so I wanted to see if it's even higher than that, and I'm still super high. Don't know if it's somewhere in between there, which I probably need to bring that down. So I'm definitely going to research and see how I can do that without changing it too drastically all at once. But ammonia, like it was before, 0. Nitrite, 0. And then the nitrate, I'm closer to now the 10 parts per million than I was the 20, like I was before. So definitely brought that down a little bit. So looking good, looking amazing. And yeah, so this is the tank. Like I said, told you it would clear up a little bit. So it is a little clearer now. Looking good. Let me put it on the other setting. Boom. So yeah. So that's the tank. Fish look happy, fish look good. So yeah, so that's kind of my basics of a water change. Not too, I mean, it's a little bit of work. Now I gotta go dump the water buckets, but we'll go get that done. And then the beta tank. I did add a little more almond leaves in this one. Turn the light on. So yeah, so definitely looking a lot better. Got that algae off the glass. Everything looking good, looking great. Oh, there he is. He's trying to hide from us. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Any other suggestions, any thoughts, anything I could do better, anything, you know, I did great on. All the tips and help is much appreciated. But yeah, I guess my biggest concern right now is that pH level. So I'm going to work on that, see what I can do. If you guys have any suggestions, please help me out. But other than that, you guys have a great day, and hopefully you enjoy the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you even like it that much, please share. Thank you.